Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Willfully Raw. My name is William, and today I won an argument with a smart light, and I think that counts for something.
Good for you.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
My name is Will, and you know what? I'm just happy to be here in 66-degree weather, northeast side.
You son of a bitch.
It's beautiful here, man. It's beautiful. It's 66 degrees, no joke. It was great. I was cold.
You know how if you wear like a button-up tee out into like a really warm environment, like it starts to feel like a tent because it traps all your humidity inside. That's how it feels outside all the time here in the Midwest. It's definitely just really gross. It did like rain overnight a couple times in the past couple of days, and that's really helped out. But for the most part, it's been pretty awful as far as weather goes.
Yeah, it was rainy today, but it was just spitting rain. You know, a good old Midwest spitting rain.
Yeah.
But when it happens up here in the Northeast, you it lowers the temperature by about 30 degrees.
I would take 30 degrees cooler. That'd be nice. I just got my energy bill in for July, August. Or wait, no, it's not August yet. For July, and
it's tomorrow. August is tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of my $160 energy bill for my one-bedroom apartment.
Did you say 160? 160?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's part of that's my fault because I am a bit of a spoiled bitch, and I do have my AC set at like 72. I could definitely save several percentage of my electric bill if I just crank the AC up like 3 degrees, but I refuse.
Did you know that there are people like this in the Midwest too, in Missouri and Kansas, but up here, there are still houses that do not have air conditioning. They're just uncomfortable for 3 weeks out of the entire year.
They would never make Florida. Like air conditioning isn't necessarily it's going to keep you nice. Like kind of like when the heater fails in the middle of the winter in the Northeast, when your AC fails in the middle of the summer in Florida, it can kill you.
Yeah. Oh, no. Listen, having just been in Florida like about a month ago, the heat wasn't what was bothering me. It was the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity is the real murderer pretty much every time.
I mean, when you step outside and you feel like you're in the bottom of a swimming pool, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. All right. So we had a couple updates from last week before we hop into the news that we dug up. I wanted to let everyone know that I'm old now. I was making an errand for work here recently, and someone parked too close to my vehicle, and I mean this in the jolly I'm a fat ass way and in the that's rude as fuck way, that you are entirely too close to my car. I sent a picture to a coworker and they said, oh, they were just trying to keep your car warm. They must have thought it was cold. The only reason our mirrors didn't touch is because theirs was a minivan and passed over the top of my little family sedan. So there's no way I'm getting into my vehicle. It's a small building. I went inside and I spoke with the individuals that I saw present. I said, hey, is this anybody's car? Nobody fessed up to it, but someone else did say, oh, well, maybe they had trouble, moving, or, are you in the candy? I'm like, no. I'm right there. We can see my car through the window. And one guy just like lets out a big like sigh. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I go out there and I look at it. I figure it out. I'm not squeezing through that gap. I open the rear passenger door. I lean the passenger seat as far forward as it can possibly go. I lean in over the console, like where your elbow would rest if you're driving, but I'm leaning from the back seat. And I like go to let my seat back. And I had, it was just a really frustrating moment as my seat starts to like slowly mechanically recline back because it's got the motorized seat.
Oh no.
Sweat drips off my nose and lands in the seat because it's 90 and the humidity is 85. So I finally got that and I crawled into the front seat and ended up kneeling on my left knee facing out the driver window with my right hand on the steering wheel. And I try to swing my legs in the right direction. I twisted my hip. Now I hobble about my apartment. Sitting for long periods of time is uncomfortable. I don't think it's serious. I think it's just muscle. But man, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, I was about to say something when you said I'm officially old now, and I really wanted to cut you off and just say, now? You old William?
It's true. I've been old for a while. Just now my body's reminding me instead of just my psychology. It's
For me, it's my knees. Whenever I've been down, and it's getting harder to elevator myself back up. I'm not
takes a little bit longer. The knees get a little more fireworks like, just popping a bit.
just a little. Now, I've never twisted my hip though, so hopefully the pain wasn't excruciating.
It's only when I sit or don't sit. Those are the only
Sit
times
or
it's
don't
painful.
sit.
Yeah.
Perfect.
As long as I'm not doing one of those two things, I'm generally okay.
Okay, excellent. Perfect. So that doesn't rule out running, so you can run.
Yeah.
You can crab walk.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, let me call for medical help before I attempt the crab walk, because I'm not sure I'll be able to make it to my phone afterwards.
Yeah. So I used to be a gymnast. I didn't know if you knew that about me, William.
I did not know that you used to be a gymnast.
I did. And just like our George H.W. Bush, I also used to be a yell leader.
Ooh.
Go Innovator Tigers. So I don't know where. Oh, that's where I was going. Sorry. Talk about old. But I wanted to show my son how to do a headstand.
All right.
Or I'm sorry, a handstand. Headstand
Okay.
is when you're actually balanced on your head. Handstand is when you're just balanced on your two hands.
Okay.
Upside down, fully vertical. It had been over 10 years since I have done a handstand, and I needed a wall to assist because I didn't want to hurt myself, but I was in the house. And William, how long has it been since you have just purposely tilted yourself entirely upside down?
Oh, on purpose? A
Mm-hmm.
decade.
Yeah. There were organs and places that I was like, that shouldn't be there. I could just feel my body go just entirely shift as the forces of gravity made themselves known. Was not a fun experience. So 0 out of 10, would not try again.
Well, age is a thing that we have to deal with, man. It's coming for us all very slowly.
I know, but some people more so than me. Not you, but
oh
other
yeah,
people.
surely not the guy with the recent hip injury. You had brought up Final Fantasy here before we got to roll.
Did before we started recording. So I have a Final Fantasy update. I have officially. I texted you this. I officially threw in the towel, and I needed and will be using a game guide from here on out for Final Fantasy VII. It is not frustrating enough for me to put away the game. In fact, this is how I used to game when I was truly invested and I wanted to know more and everything about the game world. Yeah. I would always go out and buy those Prima game guides. I don't know if you ever got those.
Yeah, I definitely had a few.
Yeah, I had one for Kingdom Hearts. I had one for the original Myst. Did you ever play Myst?
I did play Myst, yeah.
Yeah, that one was cool because it was written in like first person. The game guide itself was written in first person.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. It didn't help me beat that game though, because I still got lost and confused because Myst is at the time when I was, I don't know, 11, was a very incomprehensible game for me.
Yeah, I could get that. Lots of really pretty pictures to just look at.
That's all the game is. It's an art gallery.
Yes.
And then even harder was Rift or Riven. What was the sequel?
Riven, the sequel to Myst.
Yeah, which I was like, oh, surely something happens in this game. Has a big ball, like tower ball, on the picture. It didn't. Nothing happened. It was also it was just a darker art gallery that you walked around, basically. But back to Final Fantasy VII. There's a moment where you have to find a place called the Temple of the Ancients. The game doesn't really tell you that it's time to find the Temple of the Ancients. It just says you have to find Sephiroth, who might be at the Temple of the Ancients. And you have an airplane that isn't quite able to fly. It just kind of glides in shallow water right now, which is great, but is also frustrating because the game doesn't tell you exactly where or where not that plane can go.
That's true.
It does not. William, I got out of the plane to get back in my car, because the game gives you a car, because that's the way I thought you had to get back to the Golden Casino.
Okay.
Only to find out hours later that the plane can go through the river that cuts the map in half.
It does help you go places pretty quickly, especially right in the middle of what you thought was the continent.
There is one character that I need to collect, and his name is Vincent. I just decided to start looking up everything, not story spoilers, just like stuff to look up.
Yeah.
And then I found Bone Village, and Bone Village is a great town where I thought, oh, the story continues here. Do you know how long I ran in that forest that just renews the same screen? Because I was like, oh, this is just like the desert. I'll just keep running and eventually I'll get to where I need to be. No, William. No. It's an infinite loop.
Yep. You did you run right until you were low on resources and then go back to the left to try to
No. I ran straight up. Nothing attacked me. And whenever I walked backwards, I just was back at Bonetown.
Yep.
Which gave me a clue that I should not be here, even though the people said that. Oh God, I'm so angry. The Temple of the Ancients. They said in the text, literally says, "Oh, the Temple of the Ancients. It's just to the south of Bonetown, in the giant pyramid, in the forest." Yeah, just south of Bonetown is on the opposite side of the fucking map. Okay, not just south of Bonetown. Okay, it is south of the entire map, the entire game map, and you can't just fly there. You have to fucking go around the outline of the continent. Needless to say, I will be going to Wutai next because I just said I'm just gonna look up what I should be doing.
No, the thing that gets me about that is that you text me that you had to find a game guide, and then I texted you back. Were you looking for the Temple of the Ancients?
Yep.
Like I knew exactly what you were talking about.
Yes. Yeah. Because I literally didn't know where to go next, because the game just kind of stops and gives you a plane and he's like, have at it, which is fine. Usually when games open up like that, it is an invitation to grind, to go shop. I do like that you're able to go back to previous towns and buy more things. I am always low on gil in this game. Always low. And I am finding the way to not be low is just to level up your materia so that it duplicates itself, and then you sell that for millions of gil, and then you're set for the entire game.
Yes, that is true. There it is. That is the key to the economy. And
I am finding that out. It is still charming. I do love my geometric shapes fighting geometric shapes. I do like that. I like that a lot. I am going to be continuing. I am great. I think I'm 25 hours in now. Nice. I think my characters are approaching level 30. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Good game. Yeah,
it is. It's a great game. And yeah, I love actually seeing the old school game design. I do like seeing that. Are you caught up on I believe it's Rebirth?
No, not at all. I'm still in that same boat where I go home and relax, and then I play an MMO each night. Doing all I'm doing all right in Guild Wars 2. I'm having a good time still. I've got a group of folks I get together with. at least 5 times a week to get together and enjoy content on the game together and complete objectives for
Nice.
the guild. And no, it's just been good. I have not picked the Final Fantasy VII remake back up yet.
Are you still on remake, or have you moved to the sequel game?
I'm still on remake. I have
Nice.
not made it.
Okay.
I have not made it to Rebirth yet.
Okay.
And now the way things are going, I'm probably like, when does the third one come out? Which is what I said when the first two came out. So
yeah. How far are you in remake?
chapter 16 of 18, I think.
Oh, you're like right at the end. So are you in like
Maybe
the Shinra?
14 of 16. Yeah. I'm entering the base.
Okay.
I think
So
that's
you have like
right
basically the entire third act of the first act of the game to go
yeah,
through.
Yes. It's a bit.
That's awesome. It makes me, because I can play it on the PS4, which is the system that I have.
Mhm.
It makes me want to pick up remake.
Yeah, dude. It's I would finish the first game first.
Of
And
course,
if you're still starving for more playing through the remake and release, I think it'll feel good, but they are very different games mechanically.
Yes.
A lot of the things that you've spoken about, like the charm that you find in the old one, that charm is gone and replaced with like, realism as far as like from an animated cartoon perspective. Like everything looks true to world.
Yeah. I think I might continue playing like another Final Fantasy after this one. I've truly just enjoyed diving in. I'm thinking 6 or 10. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that later.
Absolutely. Whenever you finish Final Fantasy 7, we'll see like what your favorite parts are, and I'll make a recommendation.
Perfect. Okay, let's get to the news.
Absolutely, man. So I think it's no big secret that I'm a big fan of generative AI, and I definitely use it to help construct our titles. Now, I don't just say, "Give me title, go button, go." I provided the information. It has a background of me doing this in the past, so it actually kind of knows the energy of the show. I guess
nice.
I guess that sounds weird, but it's kind of trained on that at this point. So its recommendations are a lot more spot on, and it called out how technological our list was this evening, and it actually kind of hit me. I was like, oh, yeah, this is kind of sci-fi, isn't it? Yeah, one of the first ones on my list. Are you outside of the article that I sent you? Are you? I guess no, it was a video. It was a video. What's your familiarity with quantum immortality?
Other than Schrodinger's cat, nothing.
All right. The idea of quantum immortality is like the will that's alive right now, is the only will that matters to you. And quantum immortality it goes in a similar vein to like the multiversal theory, and that there's different universes where different courses of history happen, except it's massively scaled up, saying that every time that any decision could be made, that you in fact make both decisions, even if that decision would end up in your termination. For instance, let's say you were at a crossroads where you had to, do something that was really dangerous, and there's a 50-50 shot of you living and dying. The idea is that in an infinite number of worlds you lived, and in an infinite number of worlds you died.
Right. Yeah.
So as you have that division out there, you're the only one that lived, and the rest of those worlds are separated out from you. So if you're alive right now, it's effectively like an infinitesimally small chance that you're immortal because you're still alive and nothing has killed you yet.
Yeah. Right.
And I thought my camera's over here going nuts. I thought that the idea of quantum immortality is really interesting. I caught the video by Kurt Skazat about it, and they explained it really, really well, actually.
They did a really good job. Now, for those of you who have not, we've talked about Kurzgesagt, and I mispronounce their name all the time, so I apologize. They are great. They're probably one of my favorite science video producers on YouTube, next to Kyle Hill.
Oh yeah.
They're great, and they do really good work. They do speculative work. It's wonderful, and it's all animated. Yeah, the idea that you could be immortal. Basically, it boils down to you're immortal until you're not.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
That's literally it. You are immortal until you're not. And that really, they never say that, but that realization makes me think back to all of the times when I've, survived things by the skin of my teeth. Like when I was in high school, I remember driving down a gravel road in Podunk, Missouri, and I went off the road. And the next thing I remember, I'm back on the road driving like nothing ever happened. I
Oh.
lost time, William. I lost time. I remember going off the road, seeing the lights. It felt like my lights were literally poking, like sticking right up in the air, like they were just lighting up the sky. And the next thing I remember, I'm driving like nothing happened.
Nice.
That's not nice.
That's no. Like the fact that you lived and didn't die there is super nice.
That's wonderful. My son thanks me and my wife, but
no, the missing moments in your memory are terrifying. No, I get that.
Yeah, but so I was thinking about that during watching this video. Now they rocket like the example up to like 1 million, which is appropriate. But it made me think of that moment, and it made me think of other moments where I, seemingly survived. Like I fell into a swimming pool when I was 5 or 6. I fell into a swimming pool because I was playing at a friend's house, and for some reason we were playing with a bucket, and the bucket fell in the swimming pool, and I reached out too far, and I fell in. I'm still here.
You said you were 5 when that happened?
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah.
4 or 5 in Alabama. We're southern heavy, like a south heavy episode. This
we'll bring it up more and more. These things happen. It was just something that really kind of stuck with me. I really enjoyed the video, and I just wanted to share the idea that you're immortal until you're not.
Yeah, and it's mathematically like I would say, what is it, a theorem? I don't know. The video also made me really question and realize nobody really knows what an electron is.
Oh yeah. You brought that up earlier, and it always takes me back to the double slit experiment. Where
yes,
it used to be this really wild idea that no one had heard of, but I'm still going to give a summary of it because I'm that guy.
Sure.
The idea of the double slit experiment is you take a card with literally 2 slits in it side by side, and they fire electrons at the card at a repeated pattern one at a time. And when they observe on the other side of the paper where the where the lights hit, it forms a pattern on the background, and it wouldn't form that pattern unless the electrons were an energy wave. But it wouldn't have the impact like that unless it was a particle. So it's a thing where when they observe it, they can see the particle, they can see where it hits, and it hits on the screen. But when they don't observe it, it forms this interference pattern. So merely the act of observing the electron changes how it behaves.
I always like to think that they're shy. The electrons are shy.
Like the the guy from
Mystery Men.
Yeah.
I can only turn invisible if nobody's looking at me.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah, exactly. I love science. I love science, and I love the way that it makes you think and feel. This is a fun thought experiment. Kurzgesagt, they basically say you can prove if you're that you're immortal by sitting on a nuclear bomb and then firing hundreds of electrons at it. And if it blows up, you're not. And if it doesn't, you're immortal.
Yeah, you are.
You have a 20% chance of surviving.
Yeah, every time it's fired.
20%. So because of the branching path. They actually do a really good job of visualizing this, because you have, and they always say that there are 5 ways that this can go. And so feasibly, amongst all of those hundreds of electrons that are fired at you sitting on this nuclear bomb, you can actually map out the fact that if after that you are still alive, you are immortal.
Yeah, until you're not. I love
Until
it.
you're not.
I love it, man. I love it.
No, I really liked it. I want to know, do you think this can benefit our lives in any way?
No, not at all. It's entirely it's entirely untestable scientific bullshit. Like
You
it all
want to
makes
know
sense.
something though? I was thinking of a way that we could test it without, dying or causing harm. Like, I was literally thinking, like, on a smaller scale, how can we test this? And I have ideas, but nothing. I don't know. I guess it's my life's goal to to find a way to test this.
Find a way to test
Yeah.
the
Well,
quantum immortality.
I mean, here's the thing. They did show and allude to Schrodinger's cat, which is the idea that inside of this box is a cat, and when the lid is closed, the cat is equally dead as it is alive, and you don't know what it is until it's open. But when the lid is closed, it is all things.
Yeah, it's simultaneously both and neither. Yeah.
Yeah, which is also the way that I think of when I open Magic the Gathering packs.
Is this that $180 foil? Not this time.
It sure is until I open it.
No, but you had also brought in a science-based article you wanted to go over.
Oh my God, are we really calling this science? Let's not call this science.
Not science.
Well,
It's about
okay.
sciencey things.
It is about, well, okay. Here we go. So there is a Manhattan-sized interstellar object that has entered the inner solar system, of which I didn't realize this, but this is only the 3rd of those that has ever been detected in modern science.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only the 3rd.
Yep.
And we've been watching the stars for a long time.
Yeah, this is it is unique to have them like single out and identify a body that they believe is extrasolar. It's as alien to our solar system, believedly, as things outside of Earth are alien to Earth. So,
yes. Yeah. And it has a name. It is 31 Atlas. 31 Atlas. And apparently 2 Harvard professors think it might be an alien mothership. Now, are they doing this for the likes? Are they doing it for the, their crew? Yes, they are. This is just a large rock that has come into the solar system. It happens from time to time.
Now, I want to speak to 2 things. One, 31
Sure.
Atlas is entirely too simple of a name for something that may be the end of humanity. They need a better naming system.
Sure.
I remember I remember the comment Shoemaker Levy 9. It's way more complicated than 31 Atlas.
It is. Maybe they named it this because it is so close.
Maybe Atlas has. I mean, maybe that has some definition. I mean, could have been the name of the scope they used when they first spotted it and started tracking it. Though they didn't just say, "Hey, this is aliens." I mean, they did, because
they did.
Okay, I don't know how long you have to sit by yourself in whatever room that you've got to sit in with your scientific partners to stare at star charts and to stare at output from a satellite and decide, yes, this is different enough to make a note of. And then you finally find something that's worth making a note of, and it has some unique qualities. Like, it's going to pass its speed is actually important. It's moving way too fast.
Yes.
For something that we would normally track at that location in the solar system. And with that speed and trajectory, it had to have come from way far outside our Oort cloud.
And apparently its orientation in which it is flying through space is also an indication of something that is not quite as regular as what we may see.
Well, yeah, most things are all super tumbly.
Yes.
My understanding is that going through the vacuum of space, this item that they've tracked, it's weird that it's not as tumbly as other objects.
Yep.
It also its trajectory through the solar system does give it a good view of every planet in our solar system. That
Yes.
was a note that was made. Just the position of the planets as they move through space and the trajectory of this of 31 Atlas does give it a good look at our entire solar system. So
Sure does. But if we're talking about cosmic coincidences, which I think this is just a rock. I think this is just a rock.
this is a rock.
This is a rock. We're not going to be visited, and good God, why would they want to? But yeah, this is just a rock. It would be cool if it wasn't. Well, maybe.
Or it would not be cool if it wasn't. Either one of those cases is true.
It's a Schrodinger's cat, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, we're still on the sci-fi bullshit. All right.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But I've been hearing a lot of talk about the dark forest theory.
Yeah.
Which is talking about things that we've also talked about on other previous podcasts, which is a scientific idea brought up by the author of The Three-Body Problem. In fact, it's his second book, The Dark Forest. The theory basically postulates that if you are alone in a dark forest and you hear something and you think someone might be there, there is an equal chance that they could be harmful or they could be good, but they could be very harmful and they don't know you're there yet. So do you make yourself known or do you just hide? And that is a fascinating thing to think about, because historically, and I'm just thinking about here on Earth, natives of a certain land don't do well when invading forces from other faraway lands with superior technology come to their land.
I have some cockamamie theories in relation to this that may or may not be factual, but they're just more about how I feel about the universe.
I love
it. So, I mean, the idea is sound. That you wouldn't have, sorry, my camera's being wild. You wouldn't have like in a space where you've got predators and prey. It makes sense that the predators would go and eat the prey, and that's true from a geological sense on Earth. But I'm of the opinion that if you're out in the universe and you've got the power to move between the stars, the existence of a planet that you would barely know is there at all, or would not make it important enough for you to expend resources to move in that direction. At least I that's the opinion that I'm of. Like I don't know if it'd be worth that expenditure, especially if you are the survivor of an interstellar war. But I do also want to know, like, we've had radio communications for 70 years.
Yep.
Go 80-ish. So there's this bubble around our solar system for 70 years, so 140 light years across, 70 light years out into space, where we've been sending radio signals unfettered out into the universe. That's quite a few stars that are in that range.
There are. I mean, it all comes down to what? The Fermi paradox, right? Yeah. Like there's so much space. Where's all the aliens? And it's funny, the dark forest theory is a rebuttal of that. Where are all the aliens? Well, we're scared to talk to each other.
Yeah. No, we don't see that with the social creatures on Earth, just isolating themselves from one another. We don't see that here, do we?
No.
No, not at all.
Yeah. That man has a big stick. I'm going to walk away from him. Right? Yeah.
No, man.
If it is aliens, what's the over-under on your survival?
If aliens are passing through our solar system, I can't imagine that they would want to do. I can't imagine of anything that would make our solar system remarkable for their visit.
Yeah,
I
I
think
can
that
only
they would just be
imagine it would
passing
be
through.
something like a truck stop, right? Like,
I don't even think of that. I think it's a larger than normal tree on the side of the interstate. I mean,
oh,
I
sure.
don't think we're anything special at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a lonely thought.
Yeah, we're not creatures that isolate ourselves. No, no.
Listen, having both of us having lived through COVID and survived, um, I like I'm a social creature, right? I like being with people, as do you, as much as you tell me you don't.
I have to fight myself to be social.
I know you.
That was a real statement.
Yeah, I think again because it's a big rock, right?
Yeah,
And this is why it's
I'm
not
of
a
the
bigger
opinion. Yeah.
news story. We would all love it to not be. We would all love it to be aliens, and then they come down and they are like, "We rule you now." Because at that point, it probably wouldn't be much worse than what we're going through right now.
Well,
But
unless they've never seen meat before, you know.
they're vegetarians in this example.
No, I mean, well, I mean, to make it more, yeah, I think there's aliens out there. I just don't think that I don't think we have anything special to offer until we're the aliens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think we're too primitive still to be of interest.
Yeah, exactly.
What else do you got, William?
In continuing with sci-fi news.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
okay, Meta
Yeah.
has a new wristband. Now they've had similar tech for a while where it's like motion controlled, like you can wear a wristband, a set of rings, a watch that can detect like what orientation. It's got several accelerometers. It can detect what orientation your arm is in relative to gravity. They'll have like batteries or other items that can tell how fast your arm is moving. It'll have multiple antennas that report back to your phone, so it can give a general like location of it. Like they have really cool bracelets out there. But Meta has put together a bracelet that can read the electrical impulse in your arm to move a muscle, and it can read it reliably enough to define what impulse was intended to move what muscle. Not only that, they can take this input and use it to control things like a mouse or a pointer on your screen or what you have selected. So you could effectively put on this wristband and control the mouse and keyboard input on your computer. And you don't even have to actually mimic the movements. It doesn't pick the signal that makes your hand move. It picks up the signal that your body sends that gets the muscle ready to move. You can think about moving it and it will move. Absolutely wild sci-fi shit, man.
And it's here and it costs a lot.
Oh yeah. So it's this is a demo. They've got this ready enough that it's worked on 20 different people.
Sure.
Without like specialized calibration per person. They just put it on and it can read the movements that they intend to make their hand make and translate them into computer input.
That's incredible. That like really honestly, like that's even further than the Minority Report, like Gizmo, where you can interact with stuff. Like that's even further than that. And that's real.
Well, and not only is it real, like it when you start putting these things together, because they all start off as bumbling, stupid technologies that we're like, why? Yep. I still miss the headphone port on my phone, but I also don't own anything to plug into my phone like that anymore.
Yeah, it only has the dongle, right? Just the dongle.
No, I don't even have any dongles. I've got nothing to plug into my phone except the charger. That's the only thing that plugs into it anymore.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even need a plug-in charger. They sell wireless chargers.
Exactly.
You just put your phone down and it charges.
And it was clunky and everybody hated it. Now it's just normal. these devices are clunky and they're getting close to normal. The Apple Vision Pro headset lets you view the world in augmented reality at a high enough refresh rate that you can still play catch with someone else wearing a headset. That's wild. You can look at a screen that's showing you what a camera sees on the other side of a set of goggles, and you can still play catch.
Wow.
Now, combine that with something on your wrist that just, moves for you in a way that you intend, and interacting with a fully 3D, fully immersive display in front of your eyes, you can move things with your mind in full 3D in an augmented reality world.
God. Do you know what this all of a sudden made me think of?
What's that?
So I remember watching, have you ever watched those videos of the StarCraft competitions in Korea?
Yes.
Where you just look at them and it looks like the people are just sitting still, but their fingers are moving so fast they literally look like blurs.
Yep.
You're literally watching two people literally be Magneto and just literally like that is what I thought of. And that's a funny thing, but also think about how many inputs and commands you could put in. I mean, typing is a thing of the past at that point.
Yeah.
It's stream of thought. It's how fast can I think these words?
Exactly. You can type what you're thinking. There's definitely going to be, this is the early tech. Right now, people can use it to type. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole thing. You can type with it. Well, boo-hoo, I can type right now without it. Yeah. Well, soon it won't be you're typing where you thought your hands were going to be, because some of us are terrible typists. I'm one of them. Soon you're going to think, oh, I need to type this word, and you're going to go through that action in your head, and the wristband's going to read it the right way, even if you would have mistyped.
But think about, because this is, and you coined this phrase, and I really, really have enjoyed it. This is as primitive as this technology will ever be.
Yes.
So this will go from being a wristband probably to a small chip.
Oh yeah.
That just is put on your wrists, on the back of your neck, the nape of your neck. I mean,
well, the argument in 50 years, the argument against this type of technology is not going to be whether or not someone should have it. It's going to be the age that they get it.
Yeah.
That's where the argument's going to be.
We're going to be alive to see that.
I sure hope so. We'll see if my hip lasts.
Are you kidding me? You're going to be a centaur by then.
Dude, I can't wait for robot legs. It's going to be so awesome. And they're going to move how I think they should move. Even if like real human flesh legs for William would have gotten it wrong, robot thought ready legs are going to get it right, because they're doing what I think they should be and not what I think my legs need to be doing.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you get legs or do you go for wheels?
I mean, why not? ¿Por qué no los dos? Like, it's why not both? Why don't I get like wheels that live in my calf area until I need wheels, and they fold down, like my own personal little hover wheels. I just roll across the ground.
Yeah. Okay. And or why not hover? Like literally just go around life on a inner tube donut that floats around.
I'm cool with drone assisted mobility. All right.
Oh
I'm cool.
God.
Drone assisted mobility is coming, and it's going to move how you think it should move.
Why have I never thought about that? Are there articles about drone assisted mobility?
No, I don't think I'm not sure those words have actually been put together by other human beings. That's not one I heard.
You need to coin that immediately, because that is coming.
It's being broadcast. Like, I think I do think drone assisted mobility is coming. I do think there are going to be people who are going to.
I need you to coin this, because listen, no one is in the chat, no one's watching, but holy shit, that was brilliant. Okay, coin. Drone assisted mobility.
Hey, I said it. It's on the internet. I mean, we're streaming. We're good, man.
I know. I know.
So yeah, it's the next step in my head for this type of tech is you're gonna put the your wristbands on. Your computer's just gonna do what your brain wants it to do. And if the next step for that is going to be use a program how I want you to, and it's going to interact with your AI on the other end. And they're going to figure out between your random body signals that you're sending and you wanting to use this program a language with which they can speak to one another to use whatever program in the world you want.
It's incredible. Incredible. And it's stories like that that make me so happy to be alive at this point in time.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. I'm loving it.
Because it's so there was another moment, and this was, oh my God, this was when I was living with you. For
Oh,
that
man.
one summer.
Long time ago.
Remember, God, what was the name of that AI? And it wasn't really AI, but it was Peter Molyneux. It was when the Xbox 360 Connect was being advertised at
man, that is a long time ago.
At E3, back when E3 was a thing.
Mhm.
Milo? It was Milo.
Yeah, I think Milo or Milo. Yeah. I remember talking about that. It was like this little buddy that was supposed to learn from you and talk to you and all that, lived on your countertop.
Yeah, no, it was a video game on your Xbox. It was kind of like a more like integrated Tamagotchi, basically.
Yeah.
But like it was supposed to be a boy. It was basically supposed to be what ChatGPT is now. It wasn't, obviously, and it failed. But I remember being blown away by that. And this technology is giving me that same feeling.
Okay, so I definitely Googled it over on the side.
Yes, I know you did.
All right, we're tangenting.
I know.
I remember them announcing Project Natal.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, Project Natal? Because that's how it looks to real human beings. Like no one says Natal. But I remember that being advertised, and it had like the infrared camera, the 3D camera,
Yep.
all the stereo cameras that all sat on your TV, and purportedly it would read the whole of your existence and help this chatbot on the other side talk to you, and you could like high five and play catch and all that. And that nothing ever happened with that.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing, right? Because like they made it such a big, and that's classic Peter Molyneux, right? I mean, the first fable, you can be good or bad, whoa. And then you can, it's not nearly as Final Fantasy, but they brought it up. Anyway, that's a tangent over.
Okay, coming back from Project Natal.
But this technology, right? It's the same feeling that you get from that technology, right? Human progress is being made in meaningful ways. And this is the type of stuff that I want AI to really help us with, right?
Yes.
AI that means that it doesn't matter what you are able to do. All that matters is the strength of what you think you can do.
Oh yeah. That's absolutely coming.
That is what technology, and I've always, and I haven't really said that here, but that is what I have always wanted technology to be, is to help improve the human experience, not take it away, which is a kind of a great segue to our next.
It is.
Would it ever be a willfully rot live chat or podcast if we didn't talk about AI in some capacity?
I don't think we can help it. I may have AI in my brain. Maybe. I don't know. So you want to go into Amazon, huh?
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about Fable Showrunner, which is an AI program that Amazon has bought, that, according to this article by The Atlantic, will let you input some parameters, and it will then create an animated short TV episode. It will be animated. It will not be hyper realistic. It cannot do Game of Thrones 60 plus hour-long episodes of dramatic and through line storytelling, but it's episodic, something similar to, say, like Law and Order or Looney Tunes, or let's see, South Park.
Yeah,
The Simpsons.
yeah, South Park's like the big example that keeps coming to my mind because I think back to the early days of South Park,
Mhm.
back when everybody considered the animation to be terrible, when it was very literally still shots of construction paper
Yep.
laid out, and everybody was like, "Man, this is terrible." But here we are 15, 20 years later. And they have the exact same animation style. I mean, it's definitely smoothed out a bit, and they've got
Mhm.
more frames. It and it's not just people moving around construction paper.
Yeah.
It's all handled digitally, and it works really great. And you're going to get the quality of early South Park animation, probably a little better, honestly. And I'm not trying to shit on them. It's just they have that aesthetic, but animation styles have improved in those years, and it's not the same aesthetic that is popular anymore. You're gonna just input these things. It's gonna be generated so that you can watch it. Content like a la carte.
Yeah.
It's gonna be content a la carte, which is and it's man.
It
Can't wait
is.
to write my own TV show every 15 minutes, man.
Yes. Yeah. It is a way for you to literally create your own TV show. I'm of two minds of this. This is what I will say, because I don't want William. We've been talking about this type of stuff for so long that I hate to admit this, because I feel like I'm letting my own species down. I'm fucking excited about this, man. Like,
You
like,
can absolutely be excited. Yeah, dude.
like this is something that. So this is going to be a free program at first, and then it's going to be put behind a paywall.
Of course.
You will not be able to do like Mickey Mouse or known characters. This is all original characters. Like, yeah, this is cool
Yeah.
when it's free. I'll say that. This is cool when it's free. But also, like, is this the death of Hollywood? It could very well be.
I don't think it's the death of Hollywood. I think Hollywood's gonna mutate, like kind of like a bad X-Men mutation.
Yeah.
That's what I think Hollywood's going to be going through the next few years. I don't think, like, I'm not saying we're going to wholesale gut the entire industry. I don't think that's going to happen, but a lot of studios that don't have the funding to survive the crash of a lot of this content that's going to hit for free, that anyone can just go out and generate what they want to watch, and it is going to be impactful on nighttime TV. It is going to be impactful on YouTube views. This will impact Netflix.
Yeah. Because people can literally put in what they want to see.
Yeah.
And now I don't know its limitations here, but we've never talked about the act of doom scrolling, right?
Oh no, we've brought that up a few times, but mostly in just like passing.
Yeah. But you get on TikTok, you get on Facebook, you get on YouTube, and you just scroll. It's an endless carousel of videos, right? Of content.
Yeah.
Well, now you can input exactly what you want to see, and then you can just tell this program more in 15-minute increments. And now you just get what you want. So I don't know what the limitations are on that, but
well, I mean, right now, and this is just like anything that uses generative AI.
Sure.
The most powerful model in the world for video creation in mass is going to be Google's VO3 right now. Like today, it might change in an hour.
Right.
Has made videos that have absolutely fooled me.
Yeah.
And then slapped me in the face with the fact that I thought I was looking at a real human being filmed thing.
Yep.
Now the models that they're using here are probably scalable in power, but they're going to be focused on making 2D animations in the more modernized style. I bring up South Park because it's older, because it has an older animation style, but that doesn't really mean anything. I mean, Minecraft is still a successful video game. Yeah. And it by comparison to beautiful games, it has its own thing going for it. And then, there's a couple shows that I missed. Like, man, damn it, what's the one with like the Blue Jay?
Animated show like
Yeah, it's got
Rio.
a yeah. No, not Rio.
Well,
It's
Rio was
some.
a blue macaw, but
Yeah. There's some animated show. I'm not on there. Like Foster's Home for Imaginary
Foster's
Friends.
Home for
Okay, that's not the
Invisible.
one I'm
Yeah,
talking about at all. But it has its own. It's just another random show with a blue character.
I know what you're talking about. I never watched it, but I'm
Yeah,
familiar. Yeah,
yeah.
or hell, even BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, they have this unique animation style that is
Mhm.
definitely not full 3D realistic 8K video. So that same processing power thrown at making these 2D videos. And you can't forget how people are already screwing around with generative AI. One, there's jailbreaks for it. People
Yep.
have carefully constructed prompts that get it to reveal its original programming and say some terrible things.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah.
But as much as we know about these large language models, it might be putting on an act to make that person stop typing bullshit in the chat. Uh, so you have these extremely powerful GPUs making these flat 2D things that are going to sound and be awful for a while, but they're only going to get better and better, especially as I train them with a prompt and it gives me 10 options and I pick the one it did the best on for free. Or you know what? If I watch 100 videos and give a rating this month, I don't have to pay my subscription. Like there's so many ways that Fable, this showrunner program by the company Fable, that Amazon just invested billions in, which is why this article got notoriety.
Yep.
It's gonna blow up. It's gonna be huge.
Yeah.
And it's like everything else, this is the shittiest it's gonna be.
I know. I
And
know.
we're gonna have people that are gonna steal this and jailbreak it, and it's gonna live on a Mac in your house
Yep.
or PC, and it doesn't matter who, on a Raspberry Pi even. You're gonna prompt it and say, "I want to watch a movie where Darth Vader fights Goku." Uh, and then the fight gets broken up by the Enterprise. Like you can have whatever you want, and the model's not going to have all those limitations on it. Someone's going to steal it and run it home, So
Yeah.
it's just going to make that content and watch it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna love it.
Yeah. This is very, very, very exciting. This is also very worrying. But I'm also intrigued because I don't remember just offhand if they said that it would be voice acted, because it could be voice acted too.
Oh yeah,
and that's all AI generated. No, so those are AI specific and exclusive characters. It is TV show created 100% by a computer, and you just literally writing a few sentences into it.
Yep. And then they're gonna have something in the background, identifying trends, seeing what the whole world wants to see, and numbers. And you're gonna use that research that you're giving them for free, by the way, free research that you're selling these massive companies. And they're gonna manufacture a movie that most aligns with what the majority of their customer base is searching at the same time, and it's gonna be the perfect movie that millions of people want.
I hate it, and
I know.
totally want to be a part of it.
I told you, man.
I hate it, and I want to be a part of it. But and I've actually genuinely started realizing this, that like I honestly feel more and more people are starting to go to semi-live performances now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we're living in the best possible time to be a fan of stand-up comedy.
Oh yeah.
Right? And it's always been great to be a fan of stand-up comedy, but people are leaving their homes to go be a part of a crowd and laugh or boo at a performer.
Yeah.
And I honestly feel like that's growing. Now, I don't think theater itself is growing, but I think live performance is growing, or at least coming back, especially since COVID.
Well, that's another discussion that you and I have had. Like, we've beat around the bush several times about that in the past. There's definitely places where we disagree on where this technology is and where it's going. And it just like the people that disagreed about COVID vaccinations, like there's going to be different schools of thought that are both valid. Now, there's going to be people that are going outside just because the technology is too much, and that number is going to keep growing. I don't think it'll ever grow to be all the people, or honestly, even the majority. But the number of people that feel like technology is too much in their lives this is another one of those gates that some people are going to check out on.
Yeah. And I feel like it's already there. I mean, people aren't going to the movie theaters as much as they used to. And you might have people argue that, well, it's because they're staying home and watching Netflix. Yeah, maybe, but I feel like people are going outside more.
Well, yeah, people are also poor as shit. The economy sucks right now.
That's true.
Well, unless you're a billionaire. If you're a billionaire, you're fine, and you're telling everybody it's fine. But if you're, not, the economy is crazy right now.
Don't remind me. I know. There's only 1% of the population of people who I don't like, and it's not people who don't look like me. It's people who are richer than I am.
They did something wrong. Take their money and burn it.
Give it to me.
No,
God.
no, not that. No.
I don't want all of it. Just enough.
Just enough to pay your Fable showrunner subscription. How much do you think Fable's gonna cost each month?
I think it said in the article it's like $10, which is on par with like a base Netflix subscription.
Yeah, I think that's where it has to be. If they price it any lower, they're not going to pay to run their servers. They price it too much higher. People aren't willing to pay for something.
I think it needs to be included in Prime, though. I think it genuinely needs to be included in Prime. Why not?
I'm sure that Amazon Prime subscribers could get it for a couple dollars off a month, but they're not going to make it free. Though I think they should. They could afford it. They're already investing billions. What's extra market research for free, Amazon? Come on.
Exactly. Well, everyone and their mother has Amazon Prime, right?
Yeah.
So we're getting into territory that I want to deem. I don't know. I don't think I can come up with a phrase nearly as good as what was it? Drone assisted
mobility.
But we're getting into some sort of artistical ethics, I guess. We're getting into places where, are you okay enjoying something that was not created by humans? And yeah, I know that sounds racist against computers. Stop typing. But and yeah, that's old man yells at cloud, but I don't know, William. I don't know.
No, you're fine. Listen, you're 100% fine being uncomfortable with it. It's okay to be mad about it.
Yeah, but I also want to play with it. I want to use it. I want to create content.
You can, and soon everyone will.
I know.
You have to sell it like an evil commercial, and you will too. That's where it needs to be. But no, I will pick up Fable Showrunner if it becomes available to me, and I will try it out. But it's probably going to be like my experiment with VR. It's going to be cool, but it won't be there yet enough for me to invest in it. Well, maybe I'll invest in it in the background, see if I can find somewhere to buy some stock in it, but
gosh. Yeah. What is your third news item?
The last item I had is kind of a twofer, and it just gets more evil from here. So I'm glad we got something light to finish up with.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, last week got awkward. No. So in the talking about all this information collection, the trend continues with more weird technology. There was an application release called T. Was an application marketed for women to stay safe in their community by documenting men and putting notes about them in this application that other women geographically centric could go and review in an effort to keep themselves safe. I don't entirely agree with the actions on that, but there's not really a law against it.
I don't disagree with the intent. The intent is for safety.
The intent for safety, 100% agree on the intention of that.
Correct. The execution, in more ways than one, is problematic. And that's putting it lightly.
I think. Seriously. Yeah, there are definitely things that I mean, men and women, but in this case, in the context, women should be aware of when they're out there. And if there are men that are making you like unsafe, like get out of the situation if you can. Like it's difficult to go down this road without sounding like an asshole, no matter how you cut it. Which makes it hard to talk about. But I don't think that taking pictures of people or getting pictures of people and putting them in a secure place, or what you identify as a secure place, to rate and discuss with other people, especially if those other people are specifically excluded, feels bad. It feels really bad.
It feels bad. Let's dive into the story real quick, because I think that's where we can that's where we can really comment on this.
Yeah. So in order to sign up for tea, the women had to take selfies and upload state pictures of their state issued IDs to prove their identity in order to create and maintain an account on T. I mean, it sounds like a great way to like proof your community. Well,
it's bad. If an app, let's just say this officially, this is our take, willfully rot's take. If an application requires you to show your state issued identification in order to use it properly, don't get that app.
Yeah, it's going to be awkward. It's going to be awkward at best.
So, at best.
Yeah, at best, it's awkward. In the best case scenario, what actually happened in real life, which is someone hacked the database full of all of this user information, full of selfies, full of pictures of people's state IDs, and all the conversations that they had with one another, and the pictures they took of strangers and made every effort to dox, and every comment they made. This database was hacked and then leaked and is pouring all over the internet. All of what these individuals assumed were private conversations on an application that had good intentions became public to the world, and some people are going to have their lives destroyed over it for sure. But it's also this awkward thing where you're upset that you were part of an ad. This is the part that makes it hard to discuss. You joined an app and you took pictures of people and you talked about them, and now
without their consent,
in any way, shape, or form, and now your picture was stolen, and the conversations you had are out there, and people are discussing it without your consent.
Now, I do want to, because we clearly have opinions on this.
Yeah,
I do want to say, as of right now, anyway, we are both men. Definitely not the intended audience for this application, which I'm not gonna lie, if an application by the name of T, meaning like, hey, let's drop the T, what's the T, what is the drama, and it is designed for that, it seems like it was intended to, we are probably not the best people to talk about this. However, as a married gentleman who has been out of the dating game for a long time, I just don't. God, this is gonna.
It's hard to talk about.
Don't go into chat rooms where people you don't know are. Don't do that. Like, God, that sounds like such a 1999 way of thinking
you
about
sound
the
like you sound like a sitcom dad.
I know.
You look at what
I'm wearing. Look at what I look like. Yes, I am a sitcom dad.
Like, of course, it's. We want people to be safe. Like, that's why we focused on the intent early. The intention of the application in statement is fantastic, and I wish it would have worked out in a way that didn't turn out like this. But
and you actually said something, I think, before we started recording, about how you thought that the anonymity of the internet is going away.
I do. That's actually where this whole thing's going. I originally sent you this article on T just because it's an awful thing to happen to a group of people. Nobody should have their information put out there like that.
Right.
which leads me to this next thing. This is kind of like the opposite for feels depending on the audience. So this is a different kind of story. There's a group out there called Collective Shout. It's an Australian group. They market themselves as like a grassroots campaign to try to stop the objectification of women in mass media and pop culture and music and video, like across the whole spectrum. And they've run several campaigns that are primarily word of mouth on Facebook. They've definitely got some kind of financial backing where they've tried to get women, things that include women in terrible scenarios, which is going to be the subject of how this article probably ever came to my attention. Where there's a lot of video games that, from the opinions of Collective Shout, portray women in a negative manner. Now, I probably agree on some of those video games. Honestly, I probably agree on some of them. But they couldn't get the studio that was making the game to not make the game. They couldn't get the platform that was selling the game to stop selling the game. It's just a group of people who were shouting, "This is my opinion, you should listen to me." So they managed to get Visa and MasterCard, the payment processors that service 98% of the payment process, like payment options on the internet, to work with them to put pressure on the storefronts to delist these video games. One of the video game platforms is called itch.io. They delisted over 1,000 titles. Now, these titles, these games contained content that Collective Shout disagreed with. So Collective Shout got the payment processors to stop the sale of those games effectively. Now, there are some things that you can argue for. There are some video games out there, very loosely saying video games here. There's some porn out there that you can click around in and interact with that's marketed as a video game on a website. And you can pay $2.99 and have yourself a grand old time. And,
and not to mention like interactive girlfriends, right? Interactive boyfriends.
Well, I mean, it doesn't stop here. It's not just the porn. Right. Like they're starting with the porn because it's the low-hanging fruit, no pun intended. It's they're starting with things that they don't like, but it's also impacting other items. They among the things that Collective Shout disagree with is very graphic imagery. Now, this doesn't even mention pornography. This isn't about young women or little girls. This is just graphic imagery, the images that scare Collective Shout and they think should scare anyone that they're looking to protect. So there's also what is being referred to as horror light items that are being removed. These are video games and what's called visual novels that you can click through that have images that are specifically designed and intended to bring out an emotional response in you, and in this case, fear and terror. These games are being delisted because they have views that disagree with what Collective Shout and how they see the world. The UK is about to push some age verification that kind of also follows along the same lines that Collective Shout has. And now that that's happening, there are test groups of people that have YouTube accounts that are being asked to upload a picture of their state-issued ID.
Oh, here we go.
So that they can verify their age, that they're old enough to watch the content. Now, the intent to try to protect people on the internet, to keep them safe from terrible things, I agree with the intent. But everything else after that, get the fuck off my internet. All right.
It really feels like a form of censorship where they've gone around like the rating boards, the FCC, and they went right for people's wallets and just saying, no, your form of currency no longer will allow you to consume this.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what's happening. These shops aren't selling the things that Collective Shout doesn't want to be sold, so I can't buy them.
So tell me more about Collective Shout. Is this because this screams, right-wing Christian fundamentalist?
The primary thing that I have is it's an advocacy group that was born out of Australia in 2009.
Okay.
They've always marketed themselves as a group that's out there, to protect women and get their like objectification and sexualization out of media. Like that's been their like standing puncher thing. Now I haven't done a lot of root of this, but this has popped up like in a lot of the YouTubers that I'm subscribed to. They're doing short little snippets about the story, and one of them did bring up a few tweets from Collective Shout that talked about how great the movie Cuties was. I don't know if you remember the movie Cuties, but it had like 9 to 13-year-old little girls in beauty pageants and showed video of them twerking in swimsuits.
Mm-hmm.
So Collective Shout was praising that, but I'm not sure that they were pushing the same agenda they're pushing now. But
Oh my God! If we tie this back to the Epstein list, I'm gonna
no. This put up big red flags for me, man.
Yeah.
I'm cool with people eating whatever flavor of Jello they like, man. Like you can eat your Jello, you can enjoy it, and I can eat mine, and that's fine. But when you tell me what flavors I have to enjoy, I start to get a little pissed off.
Yeah.
Like if I want to spend my money on something that you don't like, you can go somewhere else. But now they're trying to take that away, and that really
It's
some group out of Australia.
To be completely honest, they are not taking away your money, because your money is still your money.
What is money but options, Will?
Listen, that's some Pythagorean theorem shit that you're pulling. Okay, yes, money equals options. However, they're just taking away one way to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
You can still use cash right now. Probably not for much longer. I think we're going to be within the next 10 years. There's going to be no cash. It'll just be all digital currency.
I think it'll take longer than 10 years.
You think longer?
Yep.
Okay, 15. I'll give you 15.
I'm going just less than 20.
Oof.
More than 15, less than 20. I'll put lunch on it.
My son will be in college. He will have graduated by that point. God. It's moments like that that really make me go, I don't know if I like that future.
No, I'm not a fan of this at all. Let's be realistic. Porn has survived every attempt to murder it so far. Porn will survive this. You're just going to make it more dangerous for people to get.
But you, even before we started talking, you had also mentioned that like it's affecting people's purchases on RPG drive-through RPG.
One of the other content creators that we had talked about, Dungeons and Discourse. She's a creator out of the UK who intentionally releases content that is demonetized by YouTube. And she put this out there, and she compared this to the Satanic Panic in the late 80s. I mean, and honestly, it's exactly that thing where, a lot of the American parents that grew up as children of the baby boomers were out there seeing, they were seeing these games like Dungeons and Dragons and other similar items come up that depicted imagery that they didn't like. So they actually started a campaign to get that removed. The pentagram. It's classically, associated with the devil and Satan and all that
devil worship. Yeah.
So you've got the pentagram, and it was on a Magic the Gathering card that I don't know if today, but at least for a long time, you couldn't use a demonic tutor, at least not a real one, because it depicted a pentagram. It was banned in some stores.
That's right. They needed to release alt art for it.
Exactly. So this is a result of the Satanic Panic in like the late 80s. And that's still something that I think about, know about today. And we're kind of past that. There's still a lot of people that disagree with a lot of the imagery that's out there, but that's them disagreeing with it. Keep your kids at home, control what they see on the internet, and teach them what to do when they encounter that. Not tell the person who's putting it out there to not put it there. That's how I've always felt about all of that shit. And this is just that happening again. There's a group of people who believe that their values are the right values and should be forced on everybody else in the world. And they're going as far as talking to Visa and MasterCard to get their way. And that pisses
but also think about this, because this it really does feel like censorship.
It is
different
censorship
type that we've never really seen before.
Exactly.
Right. But it is wrong. This isn't. again, without doing too much research into the organization that started it, which I'm all for what they stand for on paper, right? But what a weird way to do that.
Yeah. It's
Like,
like I feel like I'm
but
talking
also,
about some Karen living in a goddamn like suburbia who couldn't get her way by talking to her neighbors, so she had to go to the HOA and join the HOA and become the president and change the rules. That's the kind of shit that feels like it's going on. Just stupid fucking
yeah,
sitcom bullshittery.
yeah,
But it's real and impactful.
it is. And even though I don't think has anything happened in the States yet in regards to this?
Yes, itch.io, a video game retailer, delisted over 1,000 titles. Steam has delisted several of their titles.
Wow.
Right now, if you own them, you can still play them, but you can't buy them anymore.
It feels like, well, what happened with movie theaters, right? When movies started, when they released the rating system and they released NC-17.
Yep.
When was the last time you actually saw a movie that you could purchase that was rated NC-17?
I don't.
In, say, Walmart, in Target, at a
I'm trying to think of
Blockbuster,
a time that I remember
in the
seeing that
movie
rating.
theater.
Yeah, I don't. It's been a long time since I've seen an NC-17.
They don't exist because people refuse to show them because they don't sell them in those big box stores, right? So why make a movie that you can't sell?
Exactly.
So this is going to hinder. Now, I think there's I don't know. Now the discussion kind of turns to content, like,
Yeah.
and that's not a discussion I think I'm ready to have. But
we can. This isn't dead yet. This is going to be ongoing, and I plan to bring this up several times, like in our next broadcast. But I would encourage anybody out there to take a look, do a cursory Google search of our collective shout and itch.io, and get your own opinion on it. It doesn't feel right to me. It really aggravates me in some real special ways. But I would encourage people to go out there and research. Yeah.
And again, we've said this. This is a stepping stone to something much more dire. Because yes, I agree. Like, there's some content that should be taken down and could pose problems, right? And this is me talking very generally. But yeah, there's a lot of problematic stuff out there that probably should be taken down. But that should be up to the people who are hosting that content, not the credit card companies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. 100% agree with that.
Yeah. So, let's move on to something a little lighter.
Actually, our remaining story is actually one that you had brought us the first time around many broadcasts ago.
I did. So before we get to that, this is a story that comes straight from Comic-Con. William, did you keep up with it was Comic-Con this past week? Did you keep up with any of the news from Comic-Con?
I didn't know there was Comic-Con last week.
Oh man, you're not nearly as plugged in as we think you are. I like watching the Comic-Con news because it excites me with the cool TV shows and movies and what's Marvel up to, what's DC up to.
Yeah.
But there was a story that came out about a little movie that we have talked about on our podcast, and it's the Acme Coyote versus Acme movie, which is a live action / animated film, much a la like Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Space Jam.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Who Framed Roger Rabbit? About Wile E. Coyote suing Acme. And that movie was finished and then killed by Warner Brothers for a tax write-off. That movie is now being released. We are going to get a theatrical release on it. Catch Up Entertainment is releasing it. And all of my podcasts and news articles, and they had a great panel. Everyone who is reporting on it literally is saying it felt like a huge win amongst a couple years of severe losses.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get the movie back. This is newsworthy because the artist won.
I'm super glad it's getting released, especially under those circumstances, man. Like,
yeah,
you've got a movie finished and ready to go, but the cost of promoting and getting that movie out there is greater than you think you're going to. It doesn't present a big enough profit for you, so you shelf the entire idea, write off the taxes, and invest the other money into like the movie theater business. How's Warner Brothers doing on the movie front these days? I haven't.
They're doing okay. I mean, they just released Superman, which is a hit. So
okay, that's the biggest hit this summer so far, right?
That's the biggest hit well, it and Fantastic Four are pretty much neck and neck right now.
All right.
So they're making money. HBO Max is probably next to Netflix one of the best streaming services. And then Peacemaker season 2 is coming back. So, going with wrestling, John Cena stars in that. So, and they're really excited about that. So they're promoting it pretty heavily. HBO Max led the way with Emmy nominations. So Warner Brothers isn't hurting too much. I mean, as much as anyone else who is streaming in the in the industry.
Yeah.
They're doing okay. As okay as anyone. Not nearly as okay as Paramount is, which was bought by Skydance and for billions and billions of dollars. And anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the fun. We're getting a new Looney Tunes movie. That's what's exciting.
Yeah. And I always loved like Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, man. They were some of my favorites. Just because that he'd get himself in awful situations, and his reaction to it was shrug, move on.
What a great premise! He's suing Acme because he always uses Acme products, and they've always failed in getting the Roadrunner. What a fantastic premise for a movie! I'm excited to see it. It comes out next year.
Oh yeah, May 26, right? Or
yeah,
May 2026.
Yes,
I guess he's already behind. Anyway,
okay. What I want to know is why are they waiting a year? Dump it, don't dump it, but give it its due. But
well, I mean, this is part of the advertising campaign. Yeah. We're getting the word out there. And we wouldn't be talking about this if the word hadn't released that somebody got the rights to it. You know what I mean? This is part of that advertisement campaign. We'll probably see a couple commercials for it or a couple trailers. Yep. Wherever I only see trailers on like YouTube these days. So
same. Speaking of trailers, okay, we're gonna get to that. But I wanted to talk about the news that I found really exciting, other than the fact that a movie that was dead is now alive and coming out, which is the best news out of Comic-Con. But they showed the first episode of Alien. Eagle-eyed watchers and listeners, I don't know why eagle eyes would affect your ears. Anyway, people who've enjoyed our show, our content for a long time will remember that we did an entire October worth of content all about the Alien franchise. New TV show, first TV show for the Alien franchise, is coming out this year. And I'm pumped, man. News about people said that the pilot is awesome. It takes place in its own timeline. The show takes place about, I want to say, like maybe a year or 10 years before the events of the first Alien movie. And it doesn't rely on the Prometheus timeline. It is literally its own thing. I am pumped, man. I'm pumped. I'm excited to see what Noah Hawley, the creator of this show, who also created one of my favorite TV shows, Fargo. I'm just excited to see what he does, man. I'm excited to see what he does. And it's gonna be a blast. And I hope we have Tom back on to talk about it. I don't know if we can do weekly recaps, but God, it's just exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It is a franchise that I've enjoyed. I've been looking to pick up the Avengers versus Aliens comic series just because those are two universes that I enjoy the lore of, and that'd be a lot of fun to watch. And I've learned that there was some original releases, and there's actually going to be releasing more. So I'm really excited about that overall.
Fantastic.
I'd love to hop back into that universe for a little bit.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just wanted to share that. I'm stupid excited about Alien Earth.
No, it's gonna be good, man. You have anything else for us this evening?
You know, I don't. It was preparing for this with a week turnaround was a lot. I don't know about you. It was that was a lot. But I feel like we talked about some good things. I feel like I've said my piece on a lot. Yeah, the world is exciting, man. Oh, one last thing I want to talk about.
There it is. Got it.
Got it. There we go. And this is just silly. The third Avatar movie released its trailer.
Really? Oh, wait. Ashes and Fire or something,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Nice.
And I'm not going to lie. It's a sharp looking trailer, man. I don't know what's CGI. I don't know what isn't. I know it's not AI because holy fuck, it's good looking. And I will be watching that in theaters because it just looks good. It looks good. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Now I never saw the second one. From what I heard, it didn't really deviate from the first one too much. It was just a lot of pretty. So
it was a lot of pretty. And Sigourney Weaver plays a 13-year-old.
These things happen.
Yes. Yeah. It definitely has like that anime comic book logic to it. I really enjoyed the second one. Big whales fighting giant floating boat spaceships. It's pretty cool. I'm cool.
Down for that. I would play that game of Magic.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, if that's what you got, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this evening for Willfully Rot, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Peace.